Following The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, a multiplayer title was released for the Nintendo 3DS. Co-developed by Grezzo, The Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes was released in 2015 and received mixed reviews for its single-player implementation and multiplayer restrictions. Without further ado, let's go over The Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes. Set after A Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes takes place in Hytopia, a kingdom that's obsessed with fashion. Princess Styla receives a present from a witch, and when she opens it, it releases a curse that forces her to wear an unfashionable brown jumpsuit. When Link arrives in the kingdom, he finds that King Tuft is organizing a group of heroes that can defeat the witch. As part of the Triforce Heroes, Link sets out to the Drablands to find a way to break the curse. Visually, Triforce Heroes is heavily based on A Link Between Worlds. Many character models and environmental elements are reused, but some of the character designs draw more inspiration from the Wind Waker's art style. The audio design also features a mixture of new and reused sounds, but the music is mostly original and generally enjoyable. The gameplay in Triforce Heroes is somewhat similar to the previous multiplayer games. 3 players can go through the campaign together using online or local wireless connections, or by using download play with 1 copy of the game. There's also a versus mode for 2 or 3 players. In single player, Link is accompanied by 2 dolls called Doppels. He can transfer his spirit into each Doppel in order to solve puzzles, or defeat specific enemies that require cooperation. Hytopia acts as a hub area. Along with Hytopia Castle, where Link can access Triforce gateways to the Drablands and the Colosseum for versus battles, there are various businesses around the castle town. At Madame Couture's, he can buy and equip new outfits. Link can also obtain crafting materials from a street vendor, or by playing a guessing game at a shop called Daily Riches. At the Miiverse Gallery, Link is given a camera which is used to take screenshots. Only the most recent image is saved to the gallery at the end of each stage, and before Miiverse was shut down in 2017, it was possible to upload screenshots. The Drablands consist of 8 main areas with 4 levels each. Every level is divided into 4 stages, with the goal of reaching a Triforce gateway to the next stage. Objectives range from finding and using items, working together to navigate the environment, or defeating enemies or mini-bosses. The group starts with 3 fairies that act as lives, but they can also be used to skip to the next stage. The final level in an area ends with a boss, and after defeating it, Drablands challenges are unlocked in that area. Each level has 3 challenges that act as modifiers, like finishing the level with reduced health, a time limit, or additional enemies or hazards, but only 1 can be selected at a time. At the end of each level, there are 3 treasure chests with 1 crafting material for each Link, and they also receive additional rupees for every remaining fairy. If a Drablands challenge has been completed, the possible rewards are also rarer. Using rupees and materials, it's possible to craft new outfits. Each has a unique property, like improving specific abilities or items, and more outfits become available at Madame Couture's after completing specific areas. In single player, the Doppels can only wear the default hero's tunic, so only 1 Link can equip different outfits. Along with the standard materials from levels and shops, friendly tokens can be obtained by playing with friends via local wireless or download play. Link retains many abilities from the previous 2D Zelda games. He can perform a dash by default, but he doesn't have a shield to block enemy attacks. The main addition is the ability to form a totem by picking up other Links or Doppels. The Link on the bottom can still move and dash, but only the one at the top of the totem can attack or use items. They can also throw each other to cross gaps or reach higher ledges. When forming a totem with Doppels, it's possible to move and use equipment without needing to switch. In the first stage of most levels, there are items for each Link. Along with returning ones, like the Gust Jar and the Boomerang, there are also several new items. Similar to the Hook Shot, the Grip Shot pulls Link towards grapple points or other Links or Doppels. With the Fire Gloves, he can throw fireballs to melt ice or light torches. The Water Rod creates pillars of water that are used to stun enemies, travel over water, or reach higher ledges. Additional content and features were added through an update. After finishing the main story, it's possible to buy friendly tokens from the street vendor. Along with new outfits, there's a new area called the Den of Trials. This area is divided into 40 floors across 8 zones, and each is themed after one of the main areas. Each zone has a unique set of items, and the goal is to defeat enemies to open a Triforce gateway to the next floor. Certain floors also have dark versions of enemies with more health and stronger attacks. The links start with one fairy, but the 5th floor in the zone is a rest floor with an additional fairy, along with materials and an enemy that drops recovery hearts. Completing a zone also unlocks a Triforce gateway to the next zone at the entrance. The button controls are generally unchanged from A Link Between Worlds. Since there isn't a shield, both the L and R buttons perform the dash. Each Link's item is equipped to the Y button, and the X button is used to take screenshots. The touch screen is used to switch to a different doppel in single player, or send messages in multiplayer. As a single player game, Triforce Heroes is very flawed. The multiplayer focus results in stages that are frustrating to complete using the doppels. The touch controls can also be cumbersome when needing to switch quickly. Having to replay levels multiple times to obtain materials or complete Traplands challenges is also tedious. The multiplayer campaign also requires 3 players, with no 2-player options outside of the Colosseum. Overall, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes is very inconsistent as a single-player game. While the level design is relatively enjoyable and creative, certain sections are poorly designed for one player. Even though I liked it for the most part, it's still one of my least favorite games in the series, but it would be easier to recommend as a multiplayer experience. On that note, thank you for watching, and next time, I'll be revisiting The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.